Hi everyone, and welcome to my video about block and inline styled elements. So let's go ahead and get started. So first let's go over what a block level element is, and then we'll go over what an inline element is, and then I'll give some examples of this. So first, the block level element. Block level element is an element that creates a new line for itself, so it starts in a new line. It takes up the entire width of its container, and it has a top and a bottom margin. Whereas an inline element, it does not start on a new line, so it starts wherever you put it. It only takes the width of its content. It doesn't take 100% of the width of its container. And it doesn't have a top and bottom margin like a block level element does. So let's go over an example of what a block level element is versus what an inline element is. So the two most popular ones are div for block level and then span for an inline level. Now there's a whole bunch of other elements that are block level, such as a paragraph we've been using, an ordered list, a list item, an unordered list, tables, things like this. Those are block level elements. They start on a new line, they take up the full width, and they have some margin. Whereas an inline element is an example such as, like I said, a span, an A tag for when you're creating a link, B for bolding, like B tag, an input element, an image tag, an I tag for italics, and the list kind of goes on and on. You guys can search Google if you want to know all of them. But for here, I'm just going to be demonstrating a div tag versus a span tag. So let's get started. So I'm going to write hello world, I am normal text. Text. And by the way, I zoomed in, so hopefully you guys can see this a little better. Hello world, I am normal text, and then I'm going to create a div here. I am a div, and then I am normal text again, and then span, I am span text, and then I am the last normal text. All right, so I put this all in the same line so that it doesn't confuse you guys if I put enter. But by putting enter like this, it's the same thing as it all being on the same line. Again, if I wanted this to be, a new line, I would just do br. But just to avoid confusion, I'm going to put it on the same line. Anyway, I'm going to save. Now I'm going to refresh my page. And let's see what's actually going on here. So here you can see that hello world, I am normal text is printed on this line. And because a div is a block level element, what it did is the content within the div, it created a new line for it, and then it also created a new line underneath it so that this has its own line. And underneath it, you can see I am normal text again, but right next to it, you can see I am a span text. So instead of creating, you can see here that it didn't actually create a new line. And that's because it's an inline element and not a block level element. So here's the code for that. So let's just add a space there on the I real quick. So here's a code for that. So you can see that this is on the same line as the text that is not in, in any element. And that's what a span does. And inline elements and block elements help the developer essentially contain all these different elements or content within these span and divs. And they help the developer also create a style. So like, let's say I wanted this specifically to have a style of, of bold, right? Save. Or, font color of red. So it helps the developer kind of, style these elements. And for the div, let's say that the developer wanted to style everything in here as a color purple, right? So save that, refresh. you can see that now the color of all the content in here, which is just happens to be just this text, but it can be other elements and such, it's colored purple. So anyway, I hope that this video helped. If it did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. All right, everyone, have a good rest of your day. Thanks.